Hey, everybody. Welcome in the live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Today comes to you from my pal Henry Steffes, the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty. Great group over there. And you know, when it comes to buying or selling a home, that's tricky. And there's plenty of options for you out there. But all I ask, as I've kind of repeated this mantra throughout the podcast since I started doing this, is just keep my sponsors in mind. You know, give them a shot at winning over your business. Yeah, go ahead, call a couple of other real estate pros. I would expect that, and so would Henry. But include him in the mix and talk to him and see what he can do for you. And more often than not, he wins out. Dare I say every time, because his manner of how he does business is exceptional and just a clear-cut winner between him and other people who do this for a living. Not that they're not great, but Henry is the absolute best. So if you're thinking about selling your home, you're thinking about buying a home, call upon the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty, thesteffesgroup.com, or just get to their website by going to mine, ericzaneshow.com, click on the Steffes Group of Keller Williams Realty, and then, you're off and running, and then it'll take you right to the page. There's Henry's sign right there, Keller Williams, Rivertown. Great group of people. Thank you, Henry, for being on board with the show. I know Henry's been a little under the weather, and him and the family are recovering, so hope you guys are feeling better over there. The place of choice where you can get your exercise in and around West Michigan is F45 Byron Center. F45 is pretty damn new when it comes to entering the fitness game, and they do a fantastic job at it. So, yeah, you're basically going to get a 45-minute workout. You can show up at their place in Byron Center, Michigan, right where the family fair is, and get that done several times during the day where they have start times. It is group training with a personal touch. They're at about half capacity, and, I know this is a crazy time with, hey, if we get close to each other, we get sick. That's why they keep you far away. That's why they keep the place sanitized. They're working very, very hard to make sure that there isn't one of those super spreader events in the facility. F45 Byron Center. Find them online at f45training.com. That's the letter F, the number 4, the number 5, training.com/Byron Center. And you can get 1 week free, your first week free. Just sign up for that, and then off you go. Okay. It is the 12th of November, 2020. We are coming to you live from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio, where Baldwin Ace Hardware, of course, is the oasis of DIY awesomeness in the Northland of Michigan. Baldwin, Michigan. Head there for anything you need as you're in and around that area. Thank you. They are sponsoring the studio, and the show starts now. Raise it up for Billy Kid.
Sean Gotti here, coming to you from Raleigh, North Carolina. And there's not a single radio show around here that's worth a damn. So I'm listening to the Eric Zane Show podcast, coming to you live Monday through Friday. So sit back, get your trays in the upright position, feet and elbows out of the aisle, because here he comes, Eric Zane.
Thank you very much, Sean. Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast. This is a daily podcast where each and every day I cover news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I do it right here, and I have been doing it right here for quite some time now, going on 2 years. This is podcast number 465. Free podcast 465. You can catch it live on Facebook, brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Twitter is brought to you by Blue Frost IT, at Eric Zane Show on Twitter, and YouTube. Just search Eric Zane Show on YouTube. That is a live stream sponsored by F45 Training in Byron Center, Michigan. Okay, I'm also on Instagram. I'd appreciate the follow there. Just search all one word, Eric Zane Show, all together there, Eric Zane Show, and that is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I know, there's a lot of sponsors. That's because I bust my ass doing it. One-man show, I give you something to listen to watch, to enjoy of the things going on in the world and my personal stories. But you're damn right, it's loaded with sponsors. It's what I was born and raised to do. Sell the shit out of that thing, man. And we do that. That's how this is my job each and every day of the week, the work week, because of your support. And frankly, I didn't have the intention of doing it. I had the intention of doing something, but I didn't realize I would make this my full-time job, nor did I think I had the ability to pull that off. But you made me a believer. Sass Jordan, right there. Look it up. Okay. Today's one of those days where I have to kind of compartmentalize and focus. And then at the end, kind of like let it all out, because it is I am dedicating the show to Billy Kidd. So this is going to be hard. Bill passed. A lot of you don't know Bill, but I've talked about Bill before, and I'll do this late in the show and share some fond memories of some of the adventures I had with this guy. We packed a lot into just a couple of years in beautiful East Tennessee. In Knoxville. And I got the word yesterday that late last night that Bill had died. So right now he's like, "Oh, shut up, you big pussy. Get your act together and get your show going, damn it. Don't waste any time talking about me." No, I will, because there's a lot of great memories and I want to share them with you, and I know that you all care about me. Excuse me. Hang on. But no, I'm up to the task. You know me, though. I'm kind of become this emotional person who just kind of lets it fly. On any given moment, you'll see me start crying. And well, it's been just a wild year since it all started with passings of loved ones. We look no further than the passing of Brian Belgraph, and then it's just been one thing after another for all of us. So we're kind of all in this together. We got to stick together and support each other. That's what we're doing, right? Otherwise, why the hell are we here? But we'll get there. It'll be fine. I don't mean to make your makeup run, but it happens with your old pal Eric. So I am trying my best to compartmentalize, and I don't want to start the show talking about the passing of Bill, but I will end it that way. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. I got a long show, got a lot to talk about today. As you know, that I am never short of things to talk about. Stand by, excuse me. I gotta compose myself. All right. But damn it. Jeffrey Toobin is back in the news. Why did it take so long for this to even happen? It's Jesus. This is the guy, if you remember Jeffrey Toobin. He worked for I think it's the New Yorker. The publication, the New Yorker, and Toobin also was a correspondent, like the chief legal analyst or something like that on CNN. This is the guy who there was some like creative meeting going on between various people at the New Yorker, and they said, "All right, we're going to meet at 11 at noon on Zoom." And then, all right, we're just going to talk about what we need to talk about in a run-of-the-mill day for the people involved. So there's all these different faces on the Zoom. And the next thing you know, Toobin stands up and starts jerking his cock right on the Zoom. So everybody's like, what the fuck just happened? Why is he doing this? Oh, my God. Well, all right. More on that. Jesus. It's remarkable that it took any amount of time here for this. I think you can figure out what's going on. A story. Excuse me again. I apologize. A story again. This time a Penn State football star. Now this is a story where a person's life was saved by a great decision, and it may have kind of been made for this guy, but this is in a lot of ways a really bittersweet, good news, bad news type of story. The good news is you're going to stay alive, and no one's going to watch you die on the football field. The bad news, you ain't playing football anymore. Journey Brown is the guy. We'll talk about that. Great name, by the way, Journey Brown. This guy was a beast, too. Son of a bitch. An update on the murder hornets and how bad it could have gotten. Okay, score one for the good guys in this scenario. It's not fight isn't quite over yet in our war against murder hornets, but I got to tell you about this. Remember that one tree that they were like holding the vacuum hose up to it, and all those people in the suits, and they like shrink wrap the tree, and they're like invading it and sucking all the murder hornets out. Well, holy shit. I've got more stats on what they pulled out of that damn tree. Again, stand by. I apologize. I had promised myself I wouldn't get emotional right away on the show, but I absolutely did. So, all right, there's that. Got one bit of election news that I think needs to be discussed. I don't like to talk politics on the show, but I will discuss this. A key witness in a voter fraud story that was being circulated around, as we are now days away after the election and all this craziness is going on concerning it. You get a lot of glaring looks about, we're looking for widespread voter fraud. And this one person in particular was an eyewitness to a key element. And there is an update to that story. But yeah, about that politics thing, there was somebody, it really got under my skin yesterday. I've talked many times about people who make the big announcement that they won't listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast. And I don't get it. I've actually had to slog through these awkward emails from people that say, "Hi, I'm no longer going to listen. I'm breaking up with you." And I mean, actually, I had a person, bless this person's heart, who said, "Yeah, I'd like to sit down and take you out for coffee." And I'm like, "What could this possibly be about? There's no way you're breaking up with me like this, are you?" "Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it is." Like, well, it's okay. That you can just do that. You don't need to. That's stupid. Somebody on Zaniacs United, and this did bug me, said, "I refuse to follow Eric's Facebook page or listen because of politics." Oh, wait, fuck, I don't even talk politics. I've made it very clear my politics is my politics, and I don't care yours, and I try not to convince anybody of anything. And if there is ever anything involved in politics, it's because I'm making fun of it or something stupid like that. So lighten the fuck up. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then the fact that the person goes to a fan page, which is Zaniacs United, with like 1,600 people on it, that basically it's they just screw around. They post funny memes. Some of them are political, and I'd like to think that everybody there knows what they're getting into when they sign up at Zaniacs United. And if they don't, they just get out. No big deal. No one's holding a gun to your head about the page. And sure as hell, no one's holding a gun to your head about listening to my show or following my actual Facebook fan page, the one that I have put together. So why you would go to Zaniacs United to publicly announce your reasons for not supporting the show is beyond me. So that was really weird. So I responded with, "Well, that's good. I don't talk politics." And I want to strangle people who do this. You make me so stinking mad. And I'm like, it's okay. You don't need to be all dramatic and make a statement to the world. You're only doing that to try to piss people off. Me. Congratulations. You did it. Well done. My God. All right. Sorry, I completely am off track. Excuse me again. Oh, this is going to be tough today. Son of a bitch. The country of Denmark. Man, I hated this story. The country of Denmark is in the middle of a grim task, and it has to do with the pandemic. Now, if I say anything more, it's going to ruin the story for you. I don't want to do that. Some of you might know it. Don't tip anybody off on the live stream. You know that. I'm liable to snap if that happens. Holy shit. If you know it, shh. But this is God. And when I was reading the account of it, there was like file footage playing of something going on that just was making me like, what the fuck, man? I'm seeing how the sausage is made. I don't like this. I don't like it in the first place. But anyway, I'll get into that. And some dummy at a petting zoo in Bristol, England, has learned the hard way why it's a bad idea to celebrate with fireworks where the animals are. God, this one was really a heartbreaker. There is heartbreak all over this podcast today. If you're really if you want to get your heart broken, today's the show you want. I'm kidding, of course. And an amazing public job quitting that you will hear. I honestly, part of me is like, I need to throw some of this shit away and save it for the Patreon bonus podcast because there's so much going on here. As always, if you're enjoying this on the live stream, if you ever want to catch it later, you can always look at it later because the live streams are available for replay. But the audio podcast is available wherever you download podcasts, okay? If you could, when you get there, throw a review at me along with 5 stars. I would love that. Or if you miss any of this, you can just get it all at ericzaneshow.com and just subscribe away to the audio podcast. I encourage you to subscribe to the audio podcast anyway, even if you don't even listen to it. Just click on the damn thing and subscribe. I get internet points with that. Okay. Yesterday, man, I'm pretty sure that I am 100% complete on my tasks to do, my to-do list for kidney donation. I was talking to some friends of mine in the past 12 hours after the passing of Bill, and I shed some light on this. They go, so are we going to see you at the funeral? And I go, I cannot. I can't make the trip. I'm kind of locked down right now, avoiding, like reducing my risk of catching COVID, because as it blows up around the United States, it's very important that I do not get sick, because what that will do is that will delay the kidney donation. And we're slated for December 2 and in California, and that has to happen. I don't want anything slowing this down. So unfortunately, I have to stay put, and that makes me very, very sad. But in that time, I was explaining what's going on, and they're like, "What? You're doing what?" And I get that all the time, and I realize that you're going to get that. But yesterday, it was a visit over to my physician, my guy, who I've been seeing forever, and he sees me, and they take the vitals on you. This is just all this is a checkup. This is a thorough checkup minus the juggling of the balls, because they don't care if you got a hernia, and minus the prostate exam. This is a thorough outside of your body exam, and this is the last thing. And if I get a good review from my physician, then he puts the stamp of approval. Done. Get this kidney donated as quickly as possible. So I know it's going to go great. I'm in tip-top condition. I meet with the nurse. She does the blood pressure, and it's awesome. It's like 110/80 or something like that. Some ridiculously awesome number. My pulse is like 56. It's like freaking a marathoner level. It's my heart is so strong right now. It's just thunk, 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 with volumes of oxygenated blood going in and out of it, with its strength supplying my tissues. So she's like, "Oh my God, you got a great low pulse. Blood pressure is perfect. I can't even believe you're 50 years old. Holy, if your ugly trollish face didn't tell me, I'd have thought you were 26. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that." Then she loads up the leads. She's going to do like an EKG of me, of my heart. And so she gets like the paper prints out, and then my doctor comes in. He takes a look at it. He goes, "Okay, I'm looking at this. This looks like a strong heart, Eric." He goes, "I'm seeing one particular part. It looks a little bit weird. What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, that means you have a strong left side of your heart. That's because of all the exercising. Keep it up." I go, "Oh, great." He goes, "I see it all the time with people like you. Doesn't mean a damn thing. Doesn't mean you're going to drop dead or anything like that." Okay, great. Then he's going over. He's like, open up, say, breathe deep with the stethoscope on the back. Take off your shirt. He's feeling around my abdomen for any lumps, lymph nodes. He takes the thing and bangs it on my knee, and my knee kicks in the air. Great reflexes. He goes, Eric, this is going to be textbook. You are a ideal candidate for this. I'm sure your physicians in California have already told you that. I go, yeah, they have, doc. They love me, man. I'm easy. He goes, well, you really are. So this is great. No drink, no nothing. You're all good. Off we go. So, yeah, that's it. And so I'm talking to him. I go, so, what can I expect? And this is the first time I've ever asked a question about anybody about recovery. And I've deliberately avoided asking a lot of questions because just occasionally I'll get like a twinge of anxiety that's like, I just don't want to know. I just want to get it done and get it over with. And he goes, well, first of all, more than likely it'll just be you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's done. And then you're like, oh boy, what just happened to me? But I go, well, will I have any? Is it just like the snippy and remove? And then my other kidney just immediately doesn't even notice. He goes, no, it won't even notice. You'll be going to the bathroom and peeing just like you always have. You might have a little bit of blood because they had to clip your blood vessel going into and out of the kidney. But for the most part, as you recover and the pain of the incision and the surgery ends and your body kind of regulates over a few days, he goes, you won't even notice it. He goes, I have many people who I have treated who have one kidney, who have done what you've done. And he goes, they have performed awesomely. He goes, and you're in much better shape than all of them. I go, well, this is great. I am so happy to hear that. That is really great news. He goes, yeah, you'll be now, for my recipient. He said, now typically that is, there's a lot more involved in that with anti-rejection medication, and just getting his system back up and running again is a little bit more challenging. But he's confident that it'll go very well. Everybody will do their part, and hopefully he will emerge from this completely recovered, and then we will be all good to go. And what a story we will have to tell! I'm considering writing these things down because it has been quite a thing since May 16 of 2020. That's when this all started. I'm considering, well, it's kind of like I've been journaling about it while talking to you each and every day. But yeah, I think, but I want it to be more than just, this is a story. I want there to be a real purpose behind this, you know? And I think it all goes back to that whole idea about advocating for living donation. And if I can somehow, I don't really have a handle on this as to what I can do, but I think that that's part of it. And I'm kind of just pulling back a little bit and letting it come to me naturally as to how I want to approach this. But I think the story needs to be discussed at length, even more so in any way possible, in hopes of being able to advocate for this. So that's what's going on. So thanks again for thinking about us and my pal, who I haven't really revealed. I haven't said anything about, but I might have let his name slip a time or two. But as this goes, I'll talk a little bit more about this guy and more about him. And I'm sure you'll even hear from him. Okay. I've done an impression of him many times. He goes, man, you make me sound like I'm the dude. And I go, no, the dude doesn't sound quite like that. I mean, Jeff's kind of got up. See, I said his name. He's kind of got this California style to his pacing of speech. So it's, hey man, no, I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. Easily one of the sweetest, most emotional people on the planet. If you thought that I was emotional, man, you get the two of us together. We're just like we're just like sitting there, two big balls of snot and tears crying on each other's shoulders. My God. All right. The story about Penn State's Journey Brown. Congratulations to Journey Brown. You're like, wait a minute, what happened? Isn't this a terrible story? No, man, the guy is alive and well. Journey Brown's life has been saved. This guy, a beast running back for Penn State. Penn State sucks this year, but that doesn't mean that Brown isn't a stud athlete. This is finally one of those stories where you won't see the athlete die on the field. He has a heart condition, and they finally picked up on it. So he hadn't played football this year. Had a great year last year, and then this year they learned that something was wrong. What is going on with this guy? And he had to yesterday announce his retirement from football at age 20, whatever. He's probably like 20 years old, man. Diagnosed with hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. That is thickening of the heart, abnormally thick. This is the type of thing where from time to time you hear about this stud athlete and the heart doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and then nobody knows it, and then one day it decides, let's just die. That's a thing that has happened. In fact, I don't know if there was a story here in West Michigan. What was the Fenville basketball player's name? The kid? Wes something or other. Wes Leonard. A handful of years ago, boy, that was, oh my God, easily one of the most horrific, unbelievable things that has ever happened. And that was the passing of this high school kid. And it was like some big game and for the school. And like there was like the title was on the line. I forget all the details, but this young kid, a high school kid, makes the final basket at the buzzer and the team wins and everybody's overjoyed. And then the kid right there on the court collapses, never to rise again. It was absolutely horrible. And that created the Wes Leonard Heart Foundation, I believe, and I'm sure that that's still a thing, but it was a national story. And nobody knew that the kid was even sick in any way or had a heart condition. And so this is what's happening here. And this is incredibly sad because it has to end his football career. But you know what? You live to fight another day, man. And though football is not in the cards for this guy, still, he can go on to have a great, productive life. The coach of Penn State is James Franklin. I like that guy. They said the condition was discovered during a COVID-19 test back in September. Had nothing to do with the virus, though. According to the American Heart Association, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, the most common form of genetic heart disease. Most common reason for sudden cardiac death in young people and athletes under the age of 35. What's the other guy? What's a hockey player? Red Wings. Yuri Fisher. My God, how could I forget that? I see him like all the damn time. He, you have to change your lifestyle. You can't do any like hardcore training or anything. You can't work overly hard, and you got to kind of, step on the gas gently when it comes to that type of thing. But there is a way of getting around it. Journey Brown said the pain of not being able to play the game I love anymore hurts. I can't explain how I am feeling right now. However, I can walk away from the game knowing I truly gave my all at every practice and every down in the locker room every day. The coach grew emotional discussing dude. He was a beast. I saw some footage of this guy. He was just like hitting. He's the type of guy that would get the football and he'd run up to the line of scrimmage and just like bowling pins. The other guys would go scattering, and he was just an absolute beast in his previous year of football. But that is that. So best wishes. Thank God you're still alive. Holy crap. The open of the Eric Zane Show podcast brought to you by, this time around, the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Over my shoulder, mortgage rates are at an amazing level right now, so low. And you might be like, oh man, I can't do it. I know I just can't get a mortgage right now. I think I'll just keep paying this slumlord. Forget that, man. Call on Mario today, 231-332-6505. Now, he works with everybody and anywhere in the U.S., but I bring up the people who might have bad credit, bankruptcy, divorce, bad decision-making. Yeah, that happens. The reason why I shine a spotlight on that is because not every person who does mortgages likes to work with people like that, because they don't make as much money, frankly. That's the reason. But Mario doesn't look at it that way. He's looking big picture. Okay. He wants to help you get in that mortgage, and then he's going to help you improve your credit score because you're paying on that mortgage. And it's not going to be the best mortgage you can get. It's going to be the one you can get. Okay. And then after you do very well on that, you can get a better mortgage because you've improved your credit score. You see how that works? And you can do it all while in your own home. Okay. Reach out to Mario at 231-332-6505. Please mention the Eric Zane Show podcast so he knows where you heard it. And that also goes for people who don't have a credit issue, okay? These guys, I mean, this will be an amazingly quick, effective process for you. 231-332-6505. So whether you have 0 rocks to navigate in the river or plenty of rocks, he knows rocks or no rocks. Mario does. Mario and his staff from the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. I've got a sponsor that cleans your home. Thank you to A&D Cleaning. They bring you Daisy the dog here, who I think is in the camera shot. They're like, yeah, that's our dog. Daisy is brought to you by A&D Cleaning, 616-550-3644. Amy wants to clean the house. She'll get in there and do an amazing job with her and her crew. And how nice is it to walk into a clean house? Seriously, man, that is exceptional. Make it a surprise for the lady in your life, your significant other. She's like always complaining about the house being dirty. Clean it up, man. 616-550-3644 for A&D Cleaning. All right. Got a number of you that are enjoying the show. Thank you very much on the live stream. You're all fantastic. Thank you so much for being part of this podcast. All right, let's talk Toobin. Stand by. Hang on. All right. Sorry, I'm coughing a little bit today. Are you like me? Every time you cough, you're like, this is it. It's the one. I got it. Rona. It's happening. Shit. Man, this guy, I'm really shocked that that the quote unquote investigation took this long. You know, if you're in the workplace and the boss calls a Zoom meeting, and during the meeting you're doing anything but just doing meeting stuff. If you're screwing around, the boss is going to find out about it, and boy, you're going to get in deep shit. If you stand up and start jacking your dick on Zoom for everybody to see, I'm guessing the process, the investigation is quite simple. You know, you just look at the Zoom of the guy jacking his dick and say, that guy's fired. I don't know how this even happened. How can you be that much of a hard-up deviant that this would even take place? The only thing that I can think of is that Jeffrey Toobin, who was a legal analyst and a writer for The New Yorker, that is the number one thing that actually his sexual appetite is such that he has to have this type of scenario where he is with people. And I don't know for sure that he stood up and showed his pecker to the world. I'm saying that for comedic effect, but I don't know. Maybe he was like, he was, you couldn't see his Johnson as he was feverishly heating up the German war helmet. And he just the idea that people were in the room with him while they're all doing their thing business wise. And maybe that's what got him off. I have no idea. I don't even want to try to get into the mind of this dude, but, he's been fired. I can't believe it took this long. What an embarrassing thing to have happen to you. My God. Toobin fired from The New Yorker. He's also the CNN chief legal analyst. And this story comes to us from CNN Business. Has he already been cut loose by CNN? Have they not talked about this? How did it take so long? I am writing to share with you that our investigation regarding Jeffrey Toobin is complete. And as a result, he is no longer affiliated with our company. He's talking about The New Yorker. and I think, no, I don't know if it's WNYC. They were involved in this too. Stan Duncan, chief people officer at Condé Nast, which owns the New Yorker, wrote in an email to employees. I want to assure everyone that we take workplace matters seriously. Okay, well, waiting 1 month doesn't seem like you did. We are committed to fostering an environment where everyone feels respected and upholds our standards of conduct. Toobin confirmed the news on Twitter, which I was blown away by this. If you're Jeffrey Toobin and you did this, and everybody knows you did this, and you aren't trying to come up with a story about doing it. Like, if I stand up right now and drop my pants and feverishly start to pinch the bishop on camera, and then you're all going, oh my God, what is going on? At no point will I make my presence known on any social media or outside of the home for the rest of my life. I'm just going to die in this room, never to see the light of day. I would be that mortified as my brain started to come back to the pack. At no point would I think that anybody would ever want to hear from me again. He wrote on Twitter, quote, I was fired today by @New Yorker after 27 years as a staff writer. I will always love the magazine, will miss my colleagues, and will look forward to reading their work. Multiple people familiar with the matter told CNN that Toobin did this, exposed himself when he was masturbating during the Zoom call, apparently as part of a different video call. The people did not believe he intended his colleagues to witness it. When the incident happened in October, Toobin said in a statement, I made an embarrassingly stupid mistake believing I was off camera. I apologize to my wife, family, friends, and coworkers. My God. Oh, I keep putting myself into this spot about if I did this. Oh, I think that would be difficult to not listen to the voices in my head saying, find a skyscraper and throw yourself off of it. Ooh, your kids involved with this, your wife, multiple people. Let's see. Oh, I believed I was not visible on Zoom, he added. I thought no one on the Zoom call could see me. I thought I had muted the Zoom video. That's the first time I've ever heard him weigh in on this. Toobin declined to comment further to CNN. A spokesman for CNN did not immediately respond to a request for comment on Toobin's status of the network. You can't bring this guy back. I mean, he never sees the light of day, right? You just, we'll call you when we need you. Last month, the CNN spokesperson said that following the Zoom incident, Toobin had asked for some time off, and that the network had granted it. First thing I did was looked up Jeffrey Toobin on Twitter. Yeah, him actually tweeting that out. And then the nonstop comments from people taking it in weird spots, including politically. Just a bizarre story. Well, all right. I didn't even know who this guy was prior to this. Now you're known. Everybody will know your name. Okay. And I've talked recently about the idea that famous people coming back from desperately horrible scenarios. And yesterday, my list included Mike Tyson, Michael Vick, Kyle Larson, Marv Albert. Boy, I think if Toobin comes back, that would be a bigger upset than Larson and Marv Albert and Marv Albert and possibly Tyson. Vic, I think, is the most unbelievable comeback of all the. I mean, here he's killing dogs and manages to not only play football, I think he got like some comeback man of the year award or something like that, and now he's like on TV analyzing football. He paid his debt and then changed his ways and then was very transparent about it. I think that's textbook PR. Toobin, I don't know. It's just the embarrassment factor. If he would just, if Toobin would say, yeah, man, I was feverishly beating it, man. I was looking at some good porno. Maybe if he got out in front of it a little bit more and informed us what he was watching, maybe that actually might not help, because what if he says he was looking at sexyamputees.com or watching some video of a chick blowing a horse or something like that? I mean, it would probably make it a hell of a lot worse. All right, so there you go. That is what's up with Jeffrey Toobin. Hang on. Oh, my God. Sun beaming in here in West Michigan. I apologize for my voice. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. The election, as you know, is all screwed up. Kind of just biding our time, paying attention, I guess, to what's going on. Georgia is counting by hand. That doesn't really mean a whole lot. You see, I think the amount of votes between the two is in the tens of thousands that Biden leads over Trump, but very close. And this Republican guy who runs the election, he says, yeah, I want to count it by hand. I'm getting a lot of heat on this deal. We're going to count it by hand. We're going to do a complete canvassing, and that's the end of it. Dude's going to count it by hand, and then we'll see what happens. If Trump wins Georgia, that doesn't mean he wins the election. Like, if it flips, that doesn't mean anything. By the way, one more thing. You may have seen a video going around in California of some lady who thought she was like exposing something, going up to a couple of election workers who are emptying a ballot box on the street and taking those ballots and putting them in bags. So long after the election, people who think that the fix is in think that that was an exposing of voting irregularity. It's not. There's millions and millions of people in California and millions of votes cast, especially in that area. They were just collecting them to be counted. It was nothing weird. So I know how people love to spread misinformation and say, look, these ballots weren't counted. No, they're picking them up because they have till November 30th to get the job done. That's what's happening there. Okay. And this lady goes up to these two dudes that are just getting the ballots out and stuffing them into a bag. And she's like, this is proof that Trump would have, he didn't get, well, first of all, he's not going to win California. Okay. He's down. I think he got like 6 votes in California. And they have this is the way it's supposed to go this way. These guys are stretched to the max. You don't need to be putting a camera in their face claiming that you found some fucking big voter. You didn't find anything. These guys are just doing their job, and you're not blowing the lid off anything. Trump himself tweeted out and he goes, look it, these are ballots. Yes, correct. Some of them have your name, a few. And most of them have Biden's name. They're going to take them. They're going to put them into a machine. It's going to get the green check mark. Congratulations. Vote counts. That's what you do in an election, dude. My God, stop. There is nothing happening, in my opinion. Okay. One of the things that was being thrown around was this postal worker who overheard something. Holy shit, I overheard something terrible, and I found out there's voter irregularities. Richard Hopkins is a postal service worker from Erie, Pennsylvania. And this is like one of the big things that the Republicans were counting on, this guy's testimony, because Richard Hopkins heard some shit going down, and he turned in the people that were talking shit about what they need to do to fix the election. The fix is in, okay? He said he heard his bosses discussing the plan He said, look, I knew all about this. I heard it myself. I heard the plan. It's a big conspiracy. My bosses, I overheard them saying they're going to backdate the mail-in ballots for Election Day. So all these ones that come in like the day or two after the election, we're going to backdate those. And then that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to get the votes. And our guy's going to, then Biden's going to win. That's what he said. His claims, and if this does happen, you definitely want to get in on it. You want to investigate to the fullest and find out what's happening, because damn it, if somebody's cheating in the election, I agree, we should absolutely explore this. Now, I always point these things out to you because Blue State Rob refers to me as a liberal thinking Republican, and I think that that's fair. But it's just common sense here with me, and you all know this. I voted for fucking Donald Trump. Nothing would make me happier right now than if they countered him again and said, oh, we fucked up. Trump won all these states. He won the election fair and square. And then that would make me, I would want that. Okay. That's not going to happen because Biden won. And I don't think there's anything silly going on. Isn't that weird for some of you? You're like, wait, how the fuck can he do that? If you vote for Trump, you're supposed to be, that's fucking wrong. You're doing it wrong. You worry about you. I'll worry about me. You got a problem with it? Build your own fucking podcast and do it yourself, dick. But anyway, this guy, I don't talk politics. No, I really don't. I'm trying to be funny about that, as far as you know. So this guy, he made his claims first shared by Project Veritas, of course, a conservative organization that tries to set up sting operations on a variety of groups in attempts to expose perceived bias. You might remember Project Veritas. They were here in West Michigan when Cherry Health was doing those fake COVID lines or some shit like that in an effort to make it seem like the pandemic was bigger than it was at the time or something like that. Project Veritas was involved in all that shit. But anyway, that's them. They don't like perceived bias, and they like to expose it. And which has drawn fire for at times its false claims and selective and misleading video editing. The group on Monday said it would offer $25,000 for claims of voter fraud across the country. Of course, the Trump campaign, which, like the president, has rejected the results of the election and alleged widespread and unsubstantiated voter fraud. I get it. I understand why you're doing that. We talked about this yesterday on the podcast. Or on the Patreon, you don't concede. You don't concede at all, because the second you concede, it's over. And if shit is dirty and they find out about it, you haven't conceded, there you go. The whole election's out the fucking window. It goes over to the House of Representatives. All right. But now, the dude at the place in Erie, PA, who made those claims, Richard Hopkins, well, he's taking it all back. He was questioned by federal investigators with the Postal Service Inspector General's office. And once the heat was turned on the dude, he kind of like went, whoa, this is, I take it all back. It didn't happen. Uh-oh. So I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get some cash with this Project Veritas with the lead and hoping he could cash in on this. I don't know. But this guy is taking it back. Taking back all that I've been given. The Rockets. In a phone call with congressional staff, the investigator said Hopkins signed a sworn statement recanting his initial claims. Oh, God. How'd you like to be this guy back at work when he shows up at the postal facility? His boss is the boss, like, yeah, that's right. Uh-huh, sure. Asshole. He walked all his claims back. Let's see. IG investigators informed committee staff today that they interviewed Hopkins on Friday. Hopkins recanted his allegations yesterday, did not explain why he signed a false affidavit. You should be able to get in some type of trouble for that shit. sign an affidavit with something that happened, it didn't happen, and then you turn it around and take it back. There should be some ramifications for that, and it should be known so that people don't try this shit. A Department of Justice official told ABC News Monday that Attorney General William Barr had referred the accusations. So Barr had been talking about this, had referred the accusations of backdating mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania to the FBI for further investigation. So he's talking about that. So Barr was basing this dickhead's testimony on his statement. He's basing his statement on this dickhead's testimony. My God. So that's that. We continue to wait. We have, the clock's ticking. The clock is ticking. How I think this is going to go is nothing is going to happen. Biden will be the president, and that's that. But I'm really looking forward to things like the swearing in. Doesn't Trump have to be there at the swearing in? I guess he doesn't have to do anything. But him moving out, I mean, there is all sorts of possibilities for hijinks here and hilarity and awkwardness. And then the inauguration, does he even show up at the inauguration? Oh my God. Ooh. This could get really, really messy. So that's the latest going on. That's all I have for you about that. Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. I want you to call them. Call up Ashlyn today at 616. That's Ashlyn. That is the brains and the beauty behind Blue Frost IT. 616-200-8550. It's important that I explain this to you. You have a small or a medium-sized business. If your tech dies, the time it takes to resurrect it somehow is going to cost you a lot of money in, sales, time, and then, you might end up being in a world of hurt as you struggle to get all that back together. It might take a significant amount of time. If you are already set up with a service contract from Blue Frost IT, you just call them up and say, Alan, I need you. Log in. And then remotely, he's in your thing. Okay, I've diagnosed a problem, but I do need to come see you. I'm coming to see you right now. I'll be there in moments. It's like an EMT for your computer setup. Ooh, absolutely the best. Reach out at 616-200-8550. If your business is growing and you need the whole new tech setup, he does that too. Call for more information. 616-200-8550. Email is info@bluefrostit.com. He works on my stuff. I've got my own service contract with Alan, and he can do an amazing job for you. And I've only got one computer, only one, but I like the idea of knowing that I have a tech department that can help me. As always, this show is sponsored by the Kent County Health Department. They have since virtually the beginning of this podcast. The Kent County Health Department says, get your flu shot, man. Get that taken care of. It's very, very important to make sure that you stay as healthy as possible during these uncertain times. The Kent County Health Department is working very hard to make sure that that is the case. And call on them to make sure that the kids have all the vaccinations. If your kids do not have the required vaccinations, don't be silly. Don't let that slide. It's very important. And you can also get that taken care of and paid for if you qualify. More information at their website, accesskent.com/health. Okay? The Kent County Health Department, thank you for your sponsorship of the Eric Zane Show podcast. I'm podcasting with Benjamin tonight, the Ben and Eric Patreon bonus podcast. I want you to check it out. Now, if you're already on Patreon, you get it. We will do the live stream, start the live stream at 6 p.m. for video. If you are one of those folks who pays $10 a month, you get that video of Ben and I sitting right here doing our thing for that podcast. And then if you're the $5 variety, well, then you get the full audio archive. I'll post it shortly thereafter. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I also provide a free view, FREE, free view of the podcast. So the first quarter of it or so, I'll put on the live stream, Facebook and Twitter, and then I'll also post that amount of time on where you normally download this free podcast. You can check it out on your own. If you like it, sign up. If not, that's fine too. Thank you for the time. But I bring it up because Ben, of all the shitty jokes that he has busted out on Twitter, and they're all shitty, every single one of them. Shitty in a good way. It's like Ben's Twitter is just a place for shitty jokes, basically. And he sits there, he comes up with them off the top of his head. He kind of just throws them out there. Like this one. Whether I'm in a kitchen or the bathroom or a strip club, something's burning. Now, frequently, did you hear that pause after I finished reading it? That's because I'm thinking about it. Frequently, when I read Ben's shitty jokes at the Ben Glaze on Twitter, I'm like, what the fuck is that? What just happened there? And I screenshot them and I send them to Stu McAllister and I go, what the fuck's going on here? And then he like deciphers it for me, or we just shake our heads. We're like, oh my God. If we do happen to get it, 1 out of 10 that we actually get the joke, we're like, oh fuck, this is just icky. Whether I'm in the kitchen or the bathroom or a strip club, something's burning. Okay, so in the kitchen, he could be burning something. In the bathroom, why would something be burning in the bathroom? Does anybody know what's going on there? Or a strip club, something's burning. You know, I need some help with this. I'm going to call a couple of you randomly right now, incoming. Hey, Siri, call Hardcore Kenny on speaker.
Calling Hardcore Kenny on speaker.
It's probably the one day he's not listening.
Hey, you kind of caught me off guard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. What's up?
What are you doing? You're not like having a Jeffrey Toobin moment, are you?
No, sir. Trying to assist my daughter with her virtual school.
Oh, God. Well, I'll check back. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. What's up?
Well, just reading one of Ben's Twitter jokes, and frequently I just don't get them. So see if you can figure out.
Sometimes he kind of tries too hard, I think.
Okay, I'm going to read you this joke.
All right.
He wrote, whether I'm in the kitchen or a bathroom or a strip club, something's burning. Do you know what's going on there?
He burns his food. What was the second one?
Or the bathroom.
It burns when he pees.
Okay. I didn't get that. That makes sense though. Maybe it's me. And what's the strip club? Is it like is that saying that the strippers have a bad disease that causes burning?
No, I think it's like what? His loins are burning.
God, maybe it's a combination. I guess. I mean, is that me or him? Is this on me or is this on him?
I think it's a little both, maybe.
All right, let me back up then. Okay, he likes to go to this site called At Most Wow Facts. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
And the fact was Hitler only had one testicle. And Ben's...
Did he really?
Yeah. And Ben's joke playing off that was part of his sack was holo. H-O-L-O. Part of his sack was holo. Do you get that?
I think he's trying to say hollow, but he spelled it like Holocaust.
Yes. Now I didn't get it. I didn't know what was going on.
That's kind of a reach.
I thought because I kept saying holo, which is he's spelling the word solo with an H.
Right. Yeah.
And so I did not get it at all. Like just like the other one, I didn't get it at all. So I wrote.
If you have to think too much about it, it's just
it
usually doesn't work.
Exactly. And I wrote, I do not understand what is going on here. Are there typos in this joke? And then he wrote holo, as in hollow, as in Holocaust. And then I was like, oh, geez, why would you know? Jeez. And then I wrote, oh, dear God, if you weren't a loser, you'd be canceled.
if you have to explain it, it's not typically funny.
Oh, God. And he wrote, no way, it's harmless. And I go, no, the canceling would because of how stupid the joke is. Oh, my God, man. I don't know.
Yeah, E for effort.
He wrote a group. Okay, most wow facts wrote a group of flies is called a business. Ben wrote. Okay, what do you predict Ben wrote?
I have no idea. I've never even heard of that.
It says a group of flies is actually called a business. Ben said this company's got some buzz about it.
That's kind of a knee slapper or a dad joke.
I know, they all are.
Wow.
Listen to this one. When I was a sophomore, I dated a senior. When I was a junior, we put her in a home. Come on, man. Gotta stop. Quit it. Oh, God. It stinks so bad.
Well, I guess it's better to throw them out there on Twitter than just on a stage.
Oh, Jesus. It's just icky. I just feel like I gotta go take a bath now. Oh, man. All right. Very good. That's it. That's all I had for you.
All right.
Okay, man. I'll talk to you
Later.
See ya. All right. Oh, my God. I swear to God, I did not get the holo one. I was like, what's going on here? Holo? It was never called the Holocaust. And just, I don't know. I mean, I can't tell them what to do. I mean, I can't do any better. But I don't try to write. I'm not a joke writer. Oh, my God. All right. Ben will be in here with that type of side-splitting comedy. When I bring it up, he's just going to be like, oh, God. Oh, no. Now, he doesn't even listen to this show. I can promise you that. He doesn't. He doesn't even listen. All right. Update on the murder hornets. I had no idea that this was as bad as they're saying. If you saw that, you remember the folks in Washington, those murder hornets, which are like so damn big. I still am shocked by the size of them. They look fake. Jesus, looks like some of those creatures on the Hunger Games. Terrible reference. None of you get that. But they're so big. These nerds ended up capturing a few of them and with dental floss tied GPS onto them. And then they flew off like, oh, God, this is terrible. What are you doing? And they flew back to the hive and they found the hive. That is so crazy that they even pulled that up. So then these nerds get in their suits and so they don't get hurt. And they like shrink wrap the tree except for one opening where they think the nest is. And they put like this device in the thing and they start like sucking like a shop vac the murder hornets out of the tree. And after a day or so, you see the murder hornets and they're showing you the queen and the thing is still alive and it's just huge. Oh, my God. And they're like, oh, good news. We eradicated the nest. This is a big deal because, anything can happen. And these things, first of all, what they do isn't so much that they kill people because actually in the U.S. there is like, I think the story was regular old run-of-the-mill wasps or hornets or whatever. Hornets, wasps, and bees typically found in the United States kill an average of 62 people a year. And in countries where the Asian giant hornet, the murder hornet is, they don't kill that many people. But what they do is they find out where the honeybee nest is, which we need those things. That's the thing. We're supposed to take care of the honeybees because without them, they don't pollinate our vegetation, and then we're all dead. It's like if you kill all the honeybees, it's the equivalent of like an asteroid hitting the planet. The murder hornets, like one will show up, and then in like short order, he murders all the bees. And they actually do it. They actually saw footage. They actually have footage of the murder hornet going in with these stupid mandibles and just clippy, cutting the heads off of the fucking honeybees. And you can't have that shit. No way. Leave our honeybees alone. Well, and they call that the slaughter phase. God, all the terminology surrounding this creature is all very grim, doom and gloom. The murder hornets, the slaughter phase. My God. Serious threat to the population of honeybees, especially in late summer and early fall. They can decapitate thousands of bees and destroy hives in just a short amount of time. This would have catastrophic effects on the crops. So when they went back there, now they realized after the story went viral that we talked about last time, they said, we think that there's a little bit more inside of the tree, though, because they said, oh, we got the queen. And you're thinking, oh, good, they got the queen. It's done. You don't have to worry about anything else. No, it turns out that their work wasn't nearly done, but they kept at it. And now they actually have stats about this thing. That nest in Washington State, like the one, was about to become 200 nests because there was a huge number of queens inside of there. 190 total larvae that developed from eggs, 108 pupa, the next stage after the larva. They were nearly all queens. 112 workers, which included 85 workers previously vacuumed out of the nest, and 76 queens, nearly all of them new virgin queens. New queens emerge from the nest, mate, and then leave to find a place to spend the winter and start a new colony. So shit, man, in that part of the country, they're like breathing a sigh of relief. The actual headline reads that the murder hornet nest with nearly 200 queens destroyed was found in the nick of time. They were getting ready to just like emerge and say, all right, let's go rain down hell on these fucking bees. And that is that. But they said that they're not out of the woods yet. Though they found that nest, they're not entirely sure that that is the only one. But it's actually impossible to know. But their goal is to wipe them out as they continue to do that. Thank God. Score one for the good guys in 2020. Take care of the murder hornets. Get this vaccine in circulation. By the way, how many of you are rethinking the vaccine now? Are you still going to be stubborn and stupid about this thing when the vaccine comes out? Because the vaccine, they're going to start dispensing the vaccine in December. Okay, so who's going to get it? The old folks. The old folks, nursing homes. I mean, it's crazy to think that my mom just missed it by a couple of months. She died October 16th of COVID. But the old folks are going to get it first. The frontline workers, the hospital workers, the ones that are with those populations, they're going to get it. Teachers are going to get it. It'll be a little bit of time. They're saying by the spring that you and I will be able to get this vaccine. 90% effective. Regular flu vaccine is about 50% effective. Fauci said he wanted 60. He'd have been overjoyed with 60. This one's 90% effective. You know how they did this, don't you? They had a whole bunch of vaccine that they made, and they had a bunch of dummy vaccine, nothing in it. The doctors didn't know what was dummy. The doctors didn't know what was real. They had a huge population of people that they injected the vaccine to. Okay? Some got vaccine, some got nothing. Then they exposed them all to coronavirus. They agreed to do this. Of the ones that got sick, the only ones that got sick were the ones with the dummy vaccine that had nothing. Now, fortunately, their symptoms were mild. They recovered. That's it. There you go. Now they just keep an eye on those people for a couple of months for any side effects. Good to go, man. It's happening. They're saying by the spring, we'll have this thing on the run. That's what some are saying. That isn't for sure, of course, but fingers crossed. And you're damn right I'm going to get that vaccine. Holy shit. I am all about the vaccine now. All right. as I talked about Patreon, that happens a little bit later on with Ben, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. Sign up at ericzaneshow.com. I've got another edition of the Lost Zane recordings from WBBL. April of 2016 is where we are in that. If you listen to the Lost Zane recordings and you hear something that's like, oh, Zane, you got to go back and listen to this one thing you did or this one thing you said. It's prophetic. Or, you shouldn't have said this. Please let me know. Okay? Because I don't listen to those shows. I just basically get the audio and then I post it. I don't take the time to go through it. Honestly, I just don't like listening to it. It's a little bit painful for me. So I stay away from it. But I want you to listen to it. And it's on Patreon. There you go. Let me know what's up. Prince Arming has another CPL training class for you. It's coming up on Friday, November 27th. That is the day after Thanksgiving, right around the corner. You can sign up online by going to the Prince Arming Facebook page. You can get there by going to ericzaneshow.com. Click on the Prince Arming logo. Takes you right to Steve's Facebook page. Click Events. And there it is. Sign up online. Prince Arming. That is Friday, November 27th. In fact, I do this from time to time. I like to check out. Sometimes I'm always last to know. But sometimes I actually look online and say, oh, it's sold out. Here's the next one. That does happen from time to time. But if you reach out via Facebook, you can see for yourself. Arming. Click on it. Click on. Boy, he should have, it says home, about, photos, reviews, and then you click more, and then events pulls up. You can actually make that right front and center, Steve. Oh, shit. Of course I'm the last to know. It's sold out. He's added a class, though. Saturday, November 28th. So the Black Friday one is sold out. I just found it out here on the no, it is not sold out. God, I suck. Forget that I said that. I was reading the wrong one. The Friday, November 27th, Black Friday, not sold out. And then the Saturday, November 28th, not sold out. Glad I checked and made it more difficult for myself. What a dummy. All right. Shoreliner Striping says if your parking lot needs a makeover, you need to have a new setup of crisp, clean yellow lines, parking for your customers. Do it right with Shoreliner Striping. Go to their website, shorelinerstriping.com, and you will be good to go. They also sweep parking lots. They paint the inside flooring of workplaces that need that type of work. And athletic fields, all at shorelinerstriping.com. Thank you, guys. Okay. These next two stories are really, if you're an animal lover, it's probably going to bum you out here. I'll try to be sensitive as best I can. But this first story is remarkable that it is in its numbers that are involved in this. And the second story is just stupid and sad at the same time. With the COVID-19 threat and coronavirus, they've figured out in the country of Denmark that they are seeing minks get the virus and then spread it to humans. In the ever-changing landscape of this thing, they learn new stuff all the time, and that is... that would be terrible if you're working in the... I didn't realize that there's such an enormous industry. I don't know anyone who has a mink coat, okay? But in Denmark, that is like the place where this happens, where they actually harvest mink, like farms. They grow the mink. The mom mink has baby mink, and then there's these cute little minks. They look like friggin' ferrets. And then it's terrible. It's the worst industry in the world because You see all these guys in their cage, and they're like, hey, I'm so soft. Man, I tell you what, I should be used as a therapy animal. I am soft as fuck. I am just a great, great creature, and everybody loves to pet me. How come I'm in this dumb cage? Let me out, man. And so, oh, God, in researching this story, I unfortunately had to experience some of the procedures, and trust me, I'll be sensitive here, of what it takes to run a mink farm. And it's not fun. No way. Well, all right. So that's a thing where these have this gigantic production of mink. And what they've learned is that since the virus is jumping from the mink now to people, the country of Denmark said, we want all of the mink killed. Like all of them. Every single mink in Denmark is now dead. At least I think. This story was way back on November 5th, and I just never did get to it. I was going to talk about it last week, but it just failed to happen. But so there's 15 million mink in Denmark. These poor sons of bitches, fuck. And then at one point you just start over? Is that what's happening here? You just waste all the mink and then you start making new mink? This is all fucked up to me, man. One of the largest fur producers in the world, the country of Denmark, is killing every mink in the country to contain a coronavirus mutation that was spreading back to humans. It's describing as the virus does mutate constantly, which I didn't know. This variation prompted particular concern, according to scientists at Denmark's Staten Serum Institute, because 12 of the people infected showed less ability to produce antibodies, which could reduce the potential effectiveness of a vaccine. God, these images of these, this is not for the faint of heart. Let me just tell you that. Part of me is like, why is there even an industry for mink? And then I'm like, hold on a minute. Wait a second here. How can I be? It's completely hypocritical of me to, I realize this, to hate that whole industry when I wear clothes made by animals, and everything around me has something to do with animals. What I eat, what I wear, everything has some influence in this household with animals. So I'd be a complete hypocrite if I said that you shouldn't be allowed to harvest mink. I can't go that far. It's an entire industry. But fuck, do I hate it. Oh, again, you don't want to see how the sausage is made. You do not want to see it. And trust me, today, while researching this story, I saw some of the sausage being made. This is not fun. Oh, boy, I'm now officially ending the discussion of the 15 million mink genocide happening right now. Go to Ben Glaze on Twitter. I'm sure he'll make a joke about it at some point that you won't get. All right. And then there is the story about Hope the zebra. Oh, God. Hope the zebra is thoroughly a screwed up story, and whoever did this should be charged. This happened in Bristol, England. Noah's Ark Zoo Farm is the place. Everybody was really happy because of this cute little zebra that they had. Hope the zebra came to be at about the time of the start of the pandemic. England locked down in March. And all these people in that part of England were like, oh my God, we got a new zebra. We're so happy. We love her. And because everything's shitty right now, we're going to call her Hope. The zoo had to be closed due to the pandemic. So the zookeeper, Jane Gibbons, said we were all just so happy that she was here, and she's just adorable. She symbolizes a ray of light and hope at a time which felt so bleak. Well, okay, great. That's awesome. And there she is. She's cute and young. Zebras are adorable, man. They're just cute creatures. Well, Hope's dead because some dick near the Noah's Ark Zoo Farm decided, you ever go outside and there people are shooting off fireworks for no fucking reason? Well, that's what happened here. Some dickhead decided to start shooting off fireworks at the adjacent residence next to the fucking Noah's Ark Zoo Farm. And so they're all like, come on, man, what the hell is going on? The next day they show up and Hope's dead. What the hell? Well, Hope got spooked and ran as fast as she possibly could. And at the edge of her enclosure is like a metal frame, like fence, it's like the fucking border wall. And she ran as fast as she could into the fence, and that was it, man. She was scared so bad by the fireworks, she bolted. My God. The zoo said a post-mortem report showed Hope's death, cause of death was sudden impact. What asshole would shoot off fireworks next to the zoo? Such a tragedy. She's lost her life seemingly as a result of fireworks being set off at the next door that was intended as a celebration, said the zoo's managing director, Larry Bush. The staff was devastated, as they should be. They got to kick this guy's ass right away. They should right away on their Facebook page, and let's go kick the ass of the dumbass who shot the fireworks off and killed Hope, the fucking baby Hope zebra, you jackass. My God. All right. I will lighten the mood next with the best public quitting you have ever heard, or quite possibly. It's right up there. Public quittings are always great. We will also bust out the legend that created the public quitting. That coming up. And then I will end talking about Billy. So weird show today. You got Ben's stupid ass Holocaust jokes that had to be explained to me. You got Hope the zebra, the stupid mink farm. I got upset early thinking about Bill. We got this now, and then oh God, a lot going on here. Holy shit! Thanks again to Senor Martinez, who taught us not forbidden Spanish.
Lame mi palo con tu culo. Tu madre es una puta.
That's right. Call up Joe Martinez and say this.
Tu madre es una puta.
Tu madre es una puta. And he will know that you're a listener of the Eric Zane Show podcast, and he'll also probably respond negatively to you saying that his mother's a whore. That's what you just said to him. Joe taught me all these nasty words.
Tu madre es una puta.
If that doesn't work for you, you can call him right now at 616-516-8579. That's his cell phone. And say this one.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
He says it kind of fast, but you too can tell Joe Martinez, go fuck yourself.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón. Is that right?
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Sounds like he's saying Kazlon, right?
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
Vete a la chingada, cabrón. He's kind of like rolling his R's there. Well, anyway, call up Joe Martinez and tell him those things, and then say, oh, by the way, Zane told me to call you about getting my furnace checked out for $79. I'm telling you, man, this is very important. It's cold now, and it's going to stay cold, and you're going to turn on the heat, and if you don't get it checked, well, that's a problem. Joe can detect any problems with your furnace with the cleaning, the $79 cleaning and checkup of your furnace system. That should happen once a year. I've had many listeners of the podcast say, yeah, he checked mine out, and then he also said this thing's got about 2 years of life left on it. He can figure that out, man. He's a great prognosticator of whether or not your furnace is going to make it through the year. And if not, he can say, he'll be like, hey, yeah, man, you got about 6 months to start planning to replace this thing. This thing needs to be replaced. And if you do get it replaced, you call Joe. He utilizes the Comfort Maker brand of furnaces and air conditioners, A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. Hey, are you a business and you want your show or your business advertised on this show? Don't be a stranger. Reach out to me, and I will put you front and center, and on this show, and I'll tell the world about you on this podcast. I reach thousands of people each and every week, as much attendance as any radio station, and I can back that up too. Just reach out to me, and you will pay a fraction of what you would cost for the overpriced and dwindling radio audience. Okay, don't fall for their tricks. They suck. All they're doing is cutting employees and still charging you so much more for a smaller and smaller audience. Radio sucks. Podcasting's where it's at. I'll put and what's great for me is I work in most of the time with small and medium-sized businesses, lots of moms and pops who otherwise wouldn't be able to have marketing at this type of level. But I can do that. Reach out to me, Eric at ericzaneshow.com, and I will put you on the podcast. Wouldn't that be fun? All right. And then last but not least, if you want to buy a car, please get it at Sarah Honda Granville. All right. They are on Kennewa, right by 44th Street here in West Michigan. Sarah Honda Granville. Look at a fine new or certified pre-owned Honda on their website, sarahhondagranville.com, or shop in person if that's what you want to do. Socially distant, of course, and they follow all the protocols and rules, and will get you into a car. Check out a new Honda today, sarahhondagranville.com. When you mention the Eric Zane Show podcast, you really help me, because then they know that the advertising is working. So reach out to them, even if you're just looking around. So, yeah, I heard you on Eric Zane. I'm thinking I might be in the market, but I don't know. Maybe you can sell me. Thank you, Sarah Honda Granville. Okay. See, I want to make sure there's nothing coming in on some of the Facebook messages I'm hearing from some people today. Thank you so much. Diana, can you chop up that onion for me and put it in the fridge? Yeah, I'll do it. My list of chores here at the house is endless. Okay. Thanks to Mike Ball, and thanks to you for sending stories, and all of you. If you ever send me a story that is fantastic. I don't use all of them. I do what I can. But if you do find a story interesting, do send it along. It all helps. Twitter user Shauna. Let me see if, hold on a second here. Got to check my DMs, see if I heard from her. I actually sent this person a message on Twitter, who I'm about to play for you. Well, I'm glad she did this. I don't know if it's going to work out for her. I saw that Blue State Rob sent this along. It is this public quitting. Shauna worked at Walmart. She was fed up, and she said, okay, this is the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory. I'm going to pick up the phone, the intercom, and I'm going to talk some shit, and that's the end of it. Blue State Rob seems to be very, very critical of her, but I'm not so sure. He says that she's not going to get a job ever again. I'm not so sure about that. She was fed up. And this is what she had to say. This is Shauna quitting.
Hey, fuck Walmart. I just want to say that. Attention, all Walmart shoppers, associates, and managers. My name is Shauna from Cap 2, and I just want to come on here and say Henry is a racist, stinky prick. Giovanna is racist. Elias is a prick of a manager. This company fires black associates for no reason. This company treats their employees like shit, especially Cap 2, and Jimmy from Sporting Goods, Joseph the cashier, Larry from Garden Center. You are all perverts. And I hope you don't talk to your daughters the way you talk to me.
Those dudes are like, uh-oh.
Shout out to Ariel. Fucking love you for getting me this job a year ago when I needed it most.
Yep.
Fuck the managers, fuck this company,
right.
Fuck this position, and fuck that big lazy bitch, Chris Price. I fucking quit.
Oh, yes.
I'm out.
Oh.
Fuck this place.
Okay. Oh, man. The fact that names with areas of the store are used, Jimmy from sports, Joseph the cashier, Larry in gardening, you are all perverts. They're like, oh no. Can you imagine if Larry from gardening goes home and the wife is there tapping her foot saying, why the hell is this kid calling you a pervert, Larry? I hope you don't talk to your daughters that way. You talk to daughters the way you talk to me. Yeah, man, I'm all about Shauna here. I think this is fantastic. We need more people putting their foot down like this. I think this is great. She said, I finally quit my toxic job that was making me absolutely miserable for a year and 7 months. Fuck Walmart. I haven't walked in her shoes. I have no idea. Hell, maybe I've been the guy to cause that scenario. I think I was, according to Ben at one point. I think, you remember that time when Ben came unglued and let me have it? I was like, wait a minute. Hold on, motherfucker. Shit. By the way, he apologized for that. It's all good now. But I was like, fuck, man, bullshit. No, are you crazy? Charlie, the people are making comments about her post. They said, I would not be surprised if Walmart sued you for slander. I don't know about that. That is so awesome. I'm actually a huge fan of that. Oh, man, I'll link it up in the comments of the podcast. I'm going to play it again for you. This is Shauna quitting.
Hey, fuck Walmart. I just want to say that.
This is well done. You know what? It's not the only people who can. Okay, she strings it all together perfectly. There's no stumbling around. She's not fumbling. I think she might have even written notes down ahead of time because I see her kind of looking off and reading something. That's okay. Okay, this is what I try to tell Kevin in Muskegon so that he can sound eloquent and not like this. But it doesn't seem to be getting through. But she gets it. Okay, and to be able to rattle that off without any type of fumbling or fucking it up. I mean, that's what you got to do to be concise. And when you're that pissed off, you can really let it fly. So I give her high marks for this rant.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers, associates, and managers. My name is Shauna from Cap 2, and I just want to come on here and say Henry is a racist, stinky prick. Giovanna is racist.
Henry's like, oh, wait, I don't stink.
Elias is a prick of a manager. This company fires black associates for no reason. This company treats their employees like shit, especially Cap 2, and Jimmy from Sporting Goods, Joseph the cashier, Larry from Garden Center. You are all perverts.
What is Cap 2? Does anybody know?
And I hope you don't talk to your daughters the way you talk to me.
Get him. Get him, Shauna.
Shout out to Ariel. Fucking love you for getting me this job a year ago when I needed it most.
Ariel's like, yes, fucking A. I got a good review.
The managers, fuck this company, fuck this position, and fuck that big lazy bitch, Chris Price. I fucking quit.
Chris Price, you big lazy bitch. Oh,
fuck
my
this place.
God. Holy shit. Do we know where this is? I could actually call where the Walmart is. And hey, is Chris Price there? Let's see. You know I love to make the phone calls to these places. And she was subjected, or wait, hold on, I can't read. Annoyed by the bad work environment that she was subjected to in Walmart in Texas. Oh, man. Yeah, no specific Walmart. I'll get on that. Maybe I can. Hey, I'm looking for Chris Price. Is he there? I heard he's a fat bitch. What the fuck? Oh, that is so great. Okay. But, you know, the one that got it started, the pioneer in the public quitting, I know you all know, it happened on the big station in Mobile, Alabama. Inetta, the mood setter, is on the radio, and she is finishing up her time on the air for the evening, and she quits on the air, and this was absolutely spectacular. So here you go. Enjoy the Inetta, the mood setter, on air quit. Doing it to it.
The big station, 93 BLX. It is the Gulf Coast #1 for hip hop and R&B. And now with Ray Ray and Miranda, the home team in the morning.
It never escapes my brain that she takes the time, though she's about to lay waste and destroy the radio station, she still acknowledges the morning show, Ray and whoever in the morning. You know, I mean, if that it's such a bait and switch. She's talking up the station, the big station, doing it to it, and holy shit, Ray in the morning, but there's dark clouds for me.
The big station, 93 BLX. It is the Gulf Coast #1 for hip hop and R&B. And now with Ray and Miranda, the home team in the morning. Do it to it. What better song to do it to it? It's Arnetta the Move said it. And I told you I had a very important announcement, and here it is.
Here it is.
I refuse to walk around and watch people on my job looking over my shoulder, people lying to me, people talking about me. It's ridiculous. It is sad. I can't take it. I'm not going to take it. I don't have to take it. I'm not a dummy. I know how to find another job, but I refuse to walk around people. You can say what you want to say about me, and if you see me on the street, I'll let you know whatever you want to know. But I refuse. For the last 6 years, I made $6 an hour.
Okay, I'm glad she said an hour. Every time it always cracks me up. In the last however many years, I've made $6.
That ain't nothing. I just got a raise after 6 years. I know I'm qualified, and after saying this, I don't care if I ever get another job in radio, period. It does not matter to me. But Arnetta will not be setting the mood at BLX no more. I refuse to walk around with people that'll speak to you. Hey, Arnetta, how you doing? But then as soon as you walk by, that bitch, I will not do it to myself anymore. So if you're confused about what I'm saying, listen very carefully. I quit this bitch.
On the big station, 93 BLX.
And she jingles out and everything. Oh, man, I'm not a dummy. I'm not a dummy. Holy shit. Oh, my gosh. It always just is just a killer. So great. I'll link it up so you can listen on your own, too, in the comments and on the In the News section of EricZaneShow.com. Yeah, right. Man, I'm now taking a little time to wrap up the show and talk about Billy Kid. Bill Winningham is his name. He is the dearly departed. I worked with Bill Kidd in Morning Drive in Knoxville, Tennessee on a 100,000-watt flamethrower of a radio station. Man, I just loved working at 103.5 WIMZ. I was so heartbroken when I lost that job. And Billy passed away last night at age 61 in his home. I don't know much of anything about the passing, and I know for a lot of you don't know who this is. I may have talked about him in the past, but a lot of stories that I've told have come from my time in Knoxville. That was the guy I worked with, Bill Kidd, and you know when my name was presented to these folks at WIMZ as possibly being a producer for this show at the time known as Phil and Billy. And I had, they actually sought me out to be a producer for their show. And at the time I was at a weird spot where I didn't know what I was going to do in radio, if I was going to be a behind the scenes guy or in the front guy or whatever. But I took the job to be a producer. And I remember visiting Knoxville, and I was right away impressed with that part of the country, and I fell in love with it. That's why I go back there quite a bit, every year, in fact. And I've seen Bill over the years from time to time as I visited, and I just talked to him in July when we went back, and I'm kicking myself for not working harder to see him. Isn't that always the case, you know? And then the next thing you know, they're gone. It's just a constant reminder. And when am I going to learn? When will we as people learn to never, ever take those things for granted. Damn it. I wish I'd have seen him. But I didn't. So I go to Knoxville to interview for the job. I'm driving around with Bill. And he says, I want you to know something. What is it? Phil is a handful. He's very talented, but there's some baggage that comes along with the Phil portion of the Phil and Billy show. Okay, what is it? And he explains the ins and outs of what makes Phil. Now, all right, whatever. I took the job. It isn't long before we get started where all of a sudden huge amounts of time pass and Phil like starts calling in sick. Like, hey, I'm not going to make it. Like 5 minutes before the show starts. I'm not going to make it in. So Bill and I are left holding our dicks. And then Bill is like, this is what I meant. Uh-oh. All right. So we got a little bit of an issue here. We're trying to figure this thing out. Well, Bill and I start to get chemistry on the morning show, and we're starting to do things. We're kind of like turning the page on Phil. And so, as you know, what I like to do when it comes to mornings and that type of content is I've always got my hands in something, especially back then when I was a lot younger. I was a hell of a lot more of a risk taker than I am now. And, I'm doing all this, I'm trying to do, that's where PA Pranks was invented, by the way, was in Knoxville. And one of the things I always tried to do was make a splash and get some notoriety in news stories, do something that is newsworthy. And one of the things I decided to do was try to infiltrate the Southeastern Conference coaches conference call. And I did that by lying about my credential. And I said I was so-and-so from like the local paper. A complete lie. And Bill knows that I'm doing it. And he's like, dude, I don't know if this is a good idea. Oh, no, it's good. It's good. Trust me. Well, I ended up getting on the conference call with Steve Spurrier and telling him to like go fuck himself or something like that. And then we record it and then like play it on the air. We bleep it out. And then I got in big trouble. And then the newspaper's threatening to sue me and all this shit. But the bottom line was it was talked about. We got a lot of press about it, a lot of coverage, and it's exactly what I wanted to do. And it worked. It was great. We got all this attention. Well, while that was all going on, fucking Phil's not at work. He's doing whatever. He's making up excuses why the jackass couldn't come to work. So he finally comes back to work. And he gets pissed off about the bit. Now, Bill and I are lockstep. We're like thick as thieves doing this shit. And we think it's awesome. And Phil gets pissed off about it. And I'm like, well, you don't have a leg to stand on because your fat ass can't even get into work. So go fuck yourself. Well, he comes after me and gets in my face. And then all of a sudden, Bill's breaking us up. Now, Phil was quite a bit bigger than me, but he's fat as shit. And I would have killed him. I grabbed him by the throat. And I pushed him up against the wall. I brought my fist back, and I'm going to punch him. And Bill dives. Bill dives, and he goes, no, come on, man. Come on, man. Cut it out. Break it up. Break it up. Holy shit. That was the beginning of the end of Phil. He was already out the door anyway, so fuck that guy. He ended up taking off. But it was just the kind of like the way it was there. There was never a dull moment at WIMZ. Bill and I had many, many adventures together. And just a lot of fun. This radio station, I know I make it sound like it was a horrible scenario with me picking fights with people. Well, that was just one little incident. It was no big deal. There was one time Bill and I were doing an interview with, and I think I've mentioned this story before. And for some reason, we were talking with Davy Jones from the Monkees. Okay. You remember the band, the Monkees? Hey, we're the Monkees. I think Davy Jones is dead now. For some reason, he turned out to be really outspoken late in life, Davy Jones. So we would call Davy Jones, and the bit was breaking news with Davy Jones. So it's like this whole fish out of water scenario where we'd say, hey, Davy, so what do you think about this? What do you think about George Bush versus Al Gore and the hanging chads? And he would just say whatever was on his mind. And it was really funny. So you hear this guy who was very, especially for audience that we were catering to, classic rock, and the year, it was late 90s. Everybody knew who this guy was, and it was fun. It was a good bit. Well, occasionally we had to go into another studio to record the segment. So we go into this, there's like 10 radio stations in this building. And Bill and I head over into the AM station. It's like a sports station. And, it's typical sports talk where it's a satellite show. And we're listening to this a show called The Fabulous Sports Babe. It's playing, and she's like, I forget her name, her real name, but she's on there, and she knows everything there is to know about sports, but she's a chick, so it's kind of different, and I actually is extremely popular. Well, so then you sit down at the control board, and I'm running the board, and that's never good. And Bill's across from me, and I go, okay, let's call Davey, and you push all these buttons, and you have to do some settings changes to make it work. And so then you hit record, and then you call up Davey and you do the bit. And so we're doing it. And then as time passes, I look up and there's Pemberton. And that was the program director, Jim Pemberton. And the door is shut and locked. And I give this guy credit because he used to let us do our thing. And this is a true sign of when they let you do that, we got their trust, thank God. So Pemberton is letting us do our thing, and he didn't really interrupt us, but there's a window, a little spot in this solid metal door for window. It's just a little like a slat, and I see his face fill the slat, and he's wrinkling up his nose, and he like points, and then he to the board, and then he points to his ear, and then he points to me, and then he does the throat slash gesture like you're fucking it up. But he didn't want to come in and just be heard on the interview. So I'm looking at him like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm making that gesture back, and then he finally opens the door and he goes, "You're on the air. You're on the radio." I'm like, oh my God. And then so panic. Everything we've been saying is going over the air while the Fabulous Sports Babe is doing her show. So then I'm like, oh shit. So I hit a button, and then it's fixed. I'm like, oh my God, I wonder what was said. So that's always the first thing you do whenever you realize you're on the air. You kind of like backtrack in your brain about what the fuck did I say? Who did I call a nasty name? Did I use the N-word? Oh my God, I'm dead. Your whole life flashes before your eyes. It's terrible. It's happened to me many, many times over the years. And so then we go and we listen back to the audio from what actually happened on the air. And then you suddenly hear us, Bill's got this East Tennessee accent, me, Yankee, and we're having a conversation kind of off mic, and you can hear the Fabulous Sports Babe talking. And then you hear something like, "Oh, the Sports Babe, I hate this bitch. Yeah, fuck her. Yeah, oh my God, her clam stinks. Oh, God, yeah, I bet you that yeast infection is so bad. I bet you she's got worms." We're actually talking about the hygiene of the Fabulous Sports Babe and her vagina. I mean, we went crazy ripping her a new one. And then so that happens. And at this point, it's all hands on deck for this whole thing that happened on the air, and the newspapers calling shit. What happened on the air there? They want an explanation. People are complaining about the nasty talk over the Fabulous Sports Babe. And Bill and I are just like, oh fuck. Nothing happened. We would never get in trouble. This was a different time. I didn't get in trouble when I attacked Phil. Not a damn thing happened because the rest of the company hated that guy. And shit didn't happen to me when I when this happened too with the Fabulous Sports Babe. But it was just him and I, man, so many adventures. And then Bill was the guy who, when it was raining like crazy, and there was a storm blowing through, and you all have heard this audio. When I'm sitting there at my house in Knoxville, and then the phone rings, I pick it up, and he goes, hey, man, Wivik's taking live calls. Like, what are you talking about? IVK, whenever there's a bad storm, it's another radio station in town, the competition, huge country station. Whenever there's a bad storm, they put live people on the air. So what they do is, if there's a storm, It's like, IVK, you're live. What's going on in your neck of the woods? Yeah, man, Kingston Pike's flooded. Oh, man, Paper Mill Road is shitstorm right now. Oh, my God, there's trees down. Holy shit, what are we going to do? All right, thanks, IVK. He goes, IVK's taking live calls. And I go, yeah, what are you telling me? He goes, you got to call and get on. I go, well, what do I got to do? He goes, because they'll know my voice. I go, all right, that sounds like it's right up my alley. I go, well, I want you to record the audio. He goes, all right, I got it rolling. So you put a cassette tape in, you put it on the station, hit record. Bill's recording the audio. This is what we did all the time. We do this shit all the time. There was another, I'll finish that story in a second. There was another guy on the radio named Walker Johnson, who he was kind of well-known, but not really. And he went on the radio there, and shit, we'd get on his show all the time and just say the meanest, nastiest shit in the world, and we record it and go back and laugh our asses off. Oh, fuck. All the time. It's all we would do. We wouldn't even do our show correctly. We'd sit there and fuck around and then get on another shows there and say nasty shit. So this is in the middle of the afternoon, though. It's raining like hell. Your cowboy pal Gunner is on the air. And this was the thing that I've played for you many times, which I don't have in front of me. I'm kicking myself. But you know how it went. Gunner picks up the phone and he goes, IVK, you're live. Now, this is so dumb to do this. If you would never do this, and this isn't like they didn't have equipment for a delay. You always run a delay. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make it sound weird. It doesn't do anything. It gives you the opportunity to keep this shit from happening. But they would never run a delay. So they may have after that, because Gunner picks it up and I hear, dude, IVK, you're live. I go, hey, Gunner, yeah, we got a problem up here. You won't believe it. Well, what is it? And I said, it's raining dicks and pussies and holy hell. And I just said that. And then he goes, all right, okay. All right, enough of that. Enough. And then he hangs up on me. And then the news guy, you hear him burst into the room on the audio. And he's like, what is going on here? They're all panicking because somebody just said it's raining dicks and pussies on the air. Bill and I listened to that thing at least 50 million times and laughed every single damn time. And getting that guy laughing, oh, shit, was that a win? Oh, my God, the shit that we used to pull. The radio station is on top of a mountain. No shit. There is a ridge that runs right between Knoxville and it's called Sharps Ridge. And they put this, back then it was a TV station on top of it. And then over time, it became the radio station. Well, there is an area where when it was a TV station where it was the stage, and they used to do wrestling shit there and stuff like that. And it was converted to be a sales pit. Well, Bill and I if this is ridiculous. He got this a blow dart gun, and you would put actual blow darts, which would hurt you badly. And we would hold the thing up and shoot them just above people's heads at their cubicle when they're working. Now, this is grown men doing this shit. And so the cubicles had like that spongy material, and then the blow darts would just go and just hit right above. There'd be a guy sitting there, and it would hit right above Larry's head, like about 2-3 feet. He was so accurate with it. He wouldn't let me do it. He would only let me do it if I was shooting at like just a wall. But he was so good with this fucking blow dart gun that he would put one just above someone's head, not hit them, but put it into their soundproof cubicle siding shit while they're working. I'm like, what? At the time, it was like no big deal. But I look back on it now, I was like, what were we doing? My God. Bill was the guy who, when, oh shit, this was rough. Oh boy. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it's worth it. We were going out to lunch with this young lady, and Bill and I were supposed to drive together. Had we done that, we would have been able to have a discussion that would have made this not happen. But it didn't happen. And it was weird because Bill got cornered by this young lady, and she had a discussion with him about something very sensitive. And while they're talking, I'm like, hey, we got to go. We got to go. We're supposed to do this. We're supposed to go out to lunch. Let's get going. I wanted to leave. And he goes, hey, I'm going to ride with her. I'll meet you there. So something's going on. I have no idea what's going on. We get to the restaurant, and we get out, and he's got a funny look on his face. He looks like he's just seen a ghost, and something's weird. We sit down, and it's progressing normally. And this was the moment that I learned that there is one thing concerning a pregnant woman that you never, ever bring up. If you ever, take it from me, if you ever have anyone in front of you that is pregnant, never, ever ask a question. Don't even ask, how's it going? Don't even ask how you're feeling. You need to ignore that big bump in her belly. Ignore it. Trust me on this. If it happens to come out of mom's mouth, okay. But you're going to want to not do that, ever, under any circumstances. In your world, no one's pregnant. Don't ask anything. Shut up. So that you don't have this happen. Allison, how you feeling? Oh, fine. How's it going with the pregnancy? How you doing? And like a long form discussion is had. Like involved. I'm asking every question in the book. What color hair is he going to have? What's his name going to be? What is he going to get him into sports? I'm like, and all the while, fucking Bill is like head down, not paying attention to anything, just not looking at me. And then finally I felt it. I get kicked. And I'm like, and I look at him at about the same time that the mom has had enough. And then, yeah. She said, Eric, I lost the baby. And I go, oh my God. And so, son of a bitch, it was bad. I'm still not over it. Now, this is 20 years ago, more than that. And I go walking up to Bill and I go, dude, afterwards, what the fuck, man? How are you? He goes, I tried. She had me cornered. I had no way to tell you, man. There was no way. I mean, there was no opportunity. I go, oh my God, I am not buying this at all. This is all on you. I was so mad at him. I was like, I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day. This is all your fault, man. Son of a bitch. Oh my God, that was a gut punch. Yeah, the tip of the iceberg. I could write an entire book about my time with Bill Kidd. We went to a place called the NASCAR Speed Park. They had just, and he would always put me up to shit. They had just done this thing where it's a go-kart track. They put NASCAR all over. That's when NASCAR was bigger than ever. And every so often they bring a driver in and the fans get to race against the driver. Well, they bring in Rusty fucking Wallace. And they did the big media race. And so it's the idea is it's media people and fans of Rusty Wallace. There's probably like 20 of his fans. And the idea is you start Rusty in the very back. And then you let him work his way up so that he's actually racing with all the fans. Problem. Rusty is like 20th and I'm like 19th on the track. And Bill says, hey man, put the block on him. I go, what are you talking about? He goes, no matter what happens, do not let him pass you. He's going to be so pissed. And I go, oh, well, this is great. This is a great idea. I like the way you're thinking. This is much better than you making me feel like an asshole with the last story. And he goes, yeah, this is so, sure enough, checkered flag. And there he is trying to get by me. And I'm waiting for him to get in close. And then I slam the door every time. He tries to take it wide. I take him out wide. He tries to go low, cut his ass off. And I can hear him, move. And I'm like, fuck you, Wallace. You're not passing me, you son of a bitch. And we're banging. And you're not supposed to touch. I'm fucking up the car. It's like, bam, bam, bam. I get done. And of course, The race, he doesn't pass me. Nobody races against Wallace. In fact, people are lapping us. They're trying to get by him. They can't get by him because he can't get by me. It was so incredible. It was so great. And then they end up bringing us in from the race, and I'm like, in your face, Wallace. I'm actually like pointing at him like the mad finger, and he's just looking at me like he wants to kick my ass. Oh my God. And Bill's laughing the whole time. He's like, you crazy son of a bitch, man. And I go, thank you, Billy Kid. Oh man, the stories were endless. And the thing about Bill is Bill had maintained as a fixture on WIMZ for decades, like 30-year style decades. And long after I went, he was there long before I got there and long after. And I'm not sure about anything that happened. I just know that at 61 years of age, somebody checked on him last night, and then that was it. And then I have no idea. I don't think he had family. I think he had suffered a lot of hardship in recent years with loss of beloved family members, and I don't know. Perhaps that took a toll on poor Bill's and broke his heart, or broke poor Bill's heart. I have no idea. But I know that there's a lot of people that cared and loved Billy Kid, especially in and around Knoxville, Tennessee. My old partner Magoo. Here's the way it went. The show was after Phil left, they brought in this dude named Magoo, and he was a fucking firecracker. He still is. Oh man, and we hit it off right away. So the show was called, and they actually they were gonna fire me for a time, and then we hit it off so well. Billy, Magoo, and Zane became a show. So now I'm like on the show, not just a producer. And I think for about 9 months we went after it, and then they figured out it's cheaper to put John Boy and Billy on, as they fired our ass and put them on. But we had a great show. It was good. I really enjoyed my time with those guys. I can't think of a bad moment other than when I had to try to kick Phil's ass that I felt bad while working there, and my heart was broken when I had to leave that place, because I just love Billy Kid and everybody there, and they are all very, very sad. Bill was actually installed into the Tennessee Broadcasters Hall of Fame, Radio Hall of Fame, which is not easy to do. He won that award a few years ago, and he was very he wasn't too braggy about it. It probably made him uncomfortable, as I remember Bill. But it's just another black feather in the cap of this miserable, miserable year. I'm very, very sad about that, and I just so I just want to dedicate the show to him. He taught me a lot about this. He taught me a lot about broadcasting and radio, and I'll never forget my time with Billy Kid. God bless you, Billy Kid. God bless your eternal soul, and I'll see you again in heaven. Thanks for the comments, and for those of you who've offered sympathy during this time. All right, folks, dust yourselves off. That's what we all do. We'll get back after it. I'll talk to you a little later on the Patreon. God bless you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.